When I bagged my plants to spray for pests, I noticed that within a few days, the aerial roots of my monsteras, philodendrons, and pothos just exploded. They were actually covered in root hairs, and if I took cuttings, they could easily root directly into soil. I'm going to refine and repeat this process and hopefully show that this could be the fastest way to propagate any pothos or other aroid plant. So with propagating your plant now on easy mode, there are only a few things that you need to know to make this a safe and effective method to use in your home. So let's use this pothos as a test. I'm going to take off a single leaf cutting and propagate it in water the typical way just to compare these two strategies. Once you have the appropriate size bag for your plant to fit in, it's not the only thing that you'll need inside it. Your plant should also have a catch tray just like you typically would inside your home. This bag is going to greatly increase the temperature, but most importantly, the humidity. Ideally, you'll want to see condensation on the sides of the bags, and very likely you'll start seeing water pooling at the bottom of the bag too. With humidity levels approaching nearly 100%, this is going to stimulate your aerial roots to start growing, start developing root hairs, and be primed to start absorbing water as soon as the plant is placed back into soil. Think of the difference between this root versus this root. Which one is going to have an easier time making that transition? To start increasing the humidity faster, consider spraying the walls, leaving a pool of water at the bottom of the bag, but not in your catch tray, or just leaving a glass of water next to the plant inside the bag. The glass of water will start to evaporate due to higher temperatures, and because the bag is sealed, it will increase humidity pretty significantly. A smaller size bag will also create higher humidity faster than a larger size bag. The most important thing that you need to know is that 100% humidity is not good for your plants, especially for extended periods. When I was in the second grade, we learned about the water cycle, but your teachers may not have taught you about transpiration. Transpiration is the fourth part of the water cycle where leaves release water into the atmosphere. Generally, plants have to transpire or release water from their leaves in order to take up new nutrients. And in high humidity environments, transpiration speeds go down, so this may result in your soil staying wetter for longer. Wet soil for extended periods inside this high moisture environment, and combined with the leaves probably touching the wet sides of your bag and no airflow, are creating the perfect environment for mold and bacteria to start to form. This is why this strategy needs to be a 2 to 3 week process and not a 2 to 3 month process. So let's get this done quickly. So it's been about 1 month since I bagged up this plant, and it has been able to outperform the water propagation. Here's some footage from a few weeks ago that clearly shows that the plant in the bag was able to grow healthy aerial roots that have grown much faster than our water propagation. But now as we look towards 1 month, and I think that this is a little bit too long to let a plant stay, the plant in the water propagation has caught up to the plant in the bag and is exceeding it with much healthier and thicker roots. So if you are looking to propagate Pothos, Monstera, or Philodendron that has aerial roots along the stem of the plant, doing this method for 2 weeks is definitely a way to speed up the entire process. But now that it's been a month in, you could probably see that this plant is starting to have some issues, for example, mold growing on the soil. While this isn't necessarily harmful to the plant or the soil, it's clearly showing that it's in an environment that's having too much water, making it prone to disease, fungus, and mold. So from here, we can take a closer look at what is actually ready to be propagated from now. Clearly, the 2 largest aerial roots that have grown are ready to be cut and put directly back into soil, so I can make that cut right now. There's 1 cut. So here's 2 completely viable cuttings that are already ready to be placed back into soil. This might be hard to see, but if you look a little bit deeper into the plant, you can actually see that this 1 aerial root right here has grown really large, and this one has grown directly into the soil. So hopefully this means that there's 2 more viable cuttings that we can take right now. I'll take these. Here's 1 and 2 more cuttings. And just to be clear, these don't need to go into water before they go into soil. I'm just doing that so they don't dry out while I'm filming. So while I don't see any more aerial roots that have grown or activated right now, that kind of tells me that this bag method may only work on plants that are fairly healthy, have well-established vines, and are ready to produce some larger aerial roots. So what I'll do now is I'll take this plant out of the soil to hopefully give it a better medium, get rid of some of that mold that's already been attached to the soil. And I'll also repot all of this with all of this to give the plant a more bushier look. I'm going to switch out this plastic orchid container with this terracotta pot, a little bit of soil at the bottom. I'll put this plant in first. So I have everything ready for my new plant in terracotta. Just got to make sure I water the plant, and then every few days or so I'll double check to see how quickly the soil is drying out, and then I'll get it on whatever schedule that this plant is asking for. My Monstera esqueleto, the plant that originally inspired this experiment, has rooted really well, really quickly, and is already producing some new growth, and you can tell it's going to have some really great fenestrations. And remember, the most important thing that you need when you want to acclimatize your cuttings is light. If you want to learn more and find out exactly how much light that your plant needs, make sure you check out this video here. See you next time.